Two clean, so
work and
good returns up close to midfield. So
well, you give St. Joe Prep credit too. They didn't panic when they went down. Porta in on the tackle.
That's going to be our All-American Sporting Goods hard hit at the corner of Cobbin and Tabor in Northeast Philadelphia.
So the ball's at the 16-yard line right now for Archbishop Wood. They're going to need 84 yards to get in the end zone. 11 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. But I think we got a hold here.
That is going to go against Archbishop Wood.
So penalty against
is annulled by the flag.
And it's going to set him back. It's Steve Devlin.
Bottling up McClinton.
Leave that Spay hits, 28.
That was 5. Really great job because that misdirect been able to bottle up both McClinton and Messina.
Bad news. I got some information. It's the 5th time we've called.
Yeah, he's done a phenomenal job.
Yeah, he's a very important part of that defense for St. Joe Prep.
And presented by Payroll Service Solutions. The Prep with 14 unanswered here in the second half.
Today's big contest, the Claude Lodge Field here in Warminster, Pennsylvania. Jeremy Chivinari is here, incomplete, looking for Messina coming out of the backfield.
But if you look back at this game, Garlic was going to have to make some plays.
Shame for Garlic. You know he wants to get that monkey off his back and start to complete a couple passes here at William Tennant. So
it's a line drive punt right there by Christian Lowen.
Yeah, Lowen knows how to work the bounce on this turf.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he should know. It's a very soft turf. I was actually walking down there. I really like the playing field here at William Tennant High School.
Yeah, well, this is really one of the bigger high schools. I think they have the biggest high school gym in all of District 1.
Oh, really?
Holds over
I've not been inside the gym yet. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I live 30 seconds away, too. Although I've only been here for a few years, but I love the neighborhood here in Warminster, Pennsylvania. A couple of great programs like William Tennant and Archbishop Wood. It's a great place, and it's a great night to watch a football game, and the fans here at William Tennant are certainly getting a nice treat.
I thought you lived at 3900 Roosevelt Boulevard.
Inside joke there, viewers. This is Swift.
Yeah. Swift going across the 40 to the 43-yard line.
I believe that was Messina who tripped him up for a tackle for a loss.
So now Archbishop Wood's defense looking for a play, looking for a stoppage, get the ball back, or maybe a turnover.
Now, Swift really hasn't gotten it going, JT. 4 carries, officially 0 yards. He did have that 1 reception for 28 yards, but he's been pretty much contained by the Wood defense.
No one really on him right on this particular play, but they go back to – is that Swift?
That's Swift, I believe.
That's Swift, number 7. I was wondering who was lining up on the left side. Oh, that was Montague.
Yeah, he
had 10 yards if they could have just thrown to him. So third down, about 3 or 4 here as Swift gets pretty good yardage on that one.
Yeah, that's his longest carry tonight for 8 yards. Just as I say that, he was listening a little bit. Wanted to show up here on SFBN, even though he did have that one big catch. So 3rd and 2, big play right here because I don't know if this is quite 4-down territory for the Hawks.
And you know who's getting the football right here.
Yeah, this is going to be a quarterback keeper. What do you think?
Definitely Martin's running.
A timeout call on the field with a big play upcoming. You know, we'll keep it right here. And as you know, of course, this is our game of the week. And, JT, we had a pretty fun public league doubleheader yesterday down at Northeast High School between Northeast and Central and Frankfort and Washington. Those replays are available on our website right now on our on-demand page. And, of course, after this game, either tonight or early tomorrow, the replay of the game will be available on our website, thesfbn.com. And I think that's really a great feature here that we offer here on SFBN, that you can watch the replays. And I've actually talked to a lot of coaches, especially during basketball season. They use it to help scouting purposes.
Absolutely. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be watching this game, especially when the playoffs come around.
Oh, yeah.
All the people from not this part of the state are going to want to look at the tapes of Prep and teams like LaSalle and Imhotep and, of course, this Archbishop Wood team. Any 3A team is going to want to see this tape because especially if this lead holds up, somebody actually – not necessarily stopping Archbishop Wood tonight, but they're definitely putting a stop to them after getting 21 points early.
We resume play here, 3rd and 2.
No shocker here. Martin keeping it himself.
He's got enough for the first. Forward progress puts him at the Wood 45. Martin's had a phenomenal game on the ground, JT.
They cannot stop the read option for the quarterback right there, and he's just taking off and running out of the spread. And they just can't stop it. And they know it's coming, but they just can't stop it. There's a real good push up front. Ed Mooney is one of the guys blocking up front, 6'2", 230-pounder. And he chose. I find it very interesting. Sometimes Martin runs right over center. Sometimes he runs over the right. Sometimes he runs over left.
Oh, here's the freshman Swift.
Boy, beautiful run here. I think he's got enough for first down on extra effort. And it's going to be a first down for St. Joe Prep, and their fans can smell the victory. Certainly not an upset if they're able to pull it off. Now, the game's far from over. Archbishop Wood needs to stop. It's just, it's very rare where you could see one team dominate on the line of scrimmage, and then in the second half, the other team dominates. That doesn't happen that often at a high school level. We got a flag here. This could be too much time.
Yeah, I think there's too many men on the field.
So either an illegal substitution, too many in the field. St. Joe Prep didn't get their act together. They're in 4-down territory, though. And the ball's going to be at around that 39-yard line.
Yeah, 1st and 15 now. And there is about 8 minutes to go here, JT. But like you said, if Prep can come down here and score and eat some clock in the same time, Wood's going to have a hard time coming down the field and scoring, especially if they can't get their passing game going.
Here's Swift. He's
man.
Breaking tackles, and he is really shifty. And he got some good yardage there, and he was sure excited about it.
That was Spa Hits on the stop, and if Spa Hits did not wrap him up by the legs, Swift had some open field in front of him, and that could have been dangerous for Archbishop Wood.
Wow, a true freshman playing here at the high school level and doing so well right now. 2 big carries for him here in the 4th quarter. They go right back to him. He's running around the left side, and good pursuit that time. He's going to go down. The man who kicks the football for Wood, number 85, Christian Lohan's also the one who brings him down right here. No relation to Lindsay, by the way.
Thank you for clarifying.
Spelled differently. 3rd down and 11.
There's another big play here for the Hawks. And the Wood crowd starting to get up a little bit, cheering on their defense.
Now, with it being 4-down territory, I would not be surprised at all if Martin keeps this one, runs up the middle, and then they do it again on 4th down.
He's going to keep it. Oh, no, it's a delay.
And Zacchaeus makes a pretty good run, setting up 4th down. And they're going to go for it, I would imagine. And I think now they go back to Martin. Well, that time the success of Martin had everybody, the spies and all the linebackers staying home. And then he was able to quick pitch to the left, and Zacchaeus able to run left and get about 6 or 7.
4th and 5. This ultimately could be the game right here.
This is a huge play right here. Martin out of the backfield, nobody behind, and now Steve Devlin's going to use his last timeout. 6:32 to go in the 4th quarter. He obviously feels it's the play of the game as well. He calls it timeout defensively.
Well, you were going to keep it right here, and I think what he saw was, I didn't think he liked the formation that he saw, because St. Joe's had 5 wide receivers, trips to the right and 2 out to the left, and I don't know if Wood was quite ready for what they were going to do as you take a look at the St. Joe Prep huddle, maybe changing up their play.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's what happened. He did not like the defense that he had out there, maybe the package, maybe the scheme.
Yeah, but this is a huge play, and I don't mind. I know that that's the last time out for Archbishop Wood, but if they could come up with a stop here, they've got plenty of time to go down and tie this game, even if they don't have a timeout. Now, on the other side, the Hawks 4th and 5, they get this. They have a chance to eat up maybe 2 to 3 more minutes of clock. Whether they kick a field goal or score a touchdown, it would be a 2-possession game and really basically put it out of reach for Archbishop Wood.
Play of the game right here. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right for St. Joe Prep. Martin out of the shotgun. He's standing at the 32-yard line. Here comes the pressure. He's going to throw, and he caught the football. Zacchaeus again. Zacchaeus caught the football coming out of the flat, and this guy has to be the star of the game. 3 touchdowns, and now he gets this conversion here on the 4th down pass. Wow. Gabe Infante and his staff put in a pretty good play right there. And interesting how they decided not to have Martin just run the ball as the first option on that particular play.
Well, Olamide Zacchaeus right there, he bobbled it, but he ended up coming up with the catch, and that was a huge play right there for the St. Joe Prep Hawks. There's Zacchaeus again.
They go right back to him, and he gets about 3 or 4 yards. Well, Reed, Moffitt, McAllister, these have been the weapons coming in, plus Swift. But it's been Zacchaeus who stole the show here today.
Yeah, Olamide Zacchaeus, 13 carries, 96 yards, 2 receptions, 15 yards. And of course, he has a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown.
Zakai's out on that left flat. Now they're going to run Martin. They spread it out, and he gets by that initial defender and gets about 3.
And gets up to the 16 there. It's going to set up a 3rd and 6 there, JT.
Got into the second level. That's what you want. That means you get at least 3 yards. And again, 4 down territory. Is Walsh Walsh is the kicker over there who's getting ready to possibly make a field goal. 5 minutes, 15 seconds. Clock is running here in the 4th.
This will be a big stop potentially for Wood. Wood set up a field goal if they can stop Prep here on this 3rd down.
Martin's got all day. He's throwing for McAllister. In and out of his hands. Incomplete. Boy, that's the second almost touchdown that McAllister has had today. And looks like they're going to set out Walsh for the field goal attempt. And this could probably clinch the game with no timeouts, although 5 minutes is still a lot of time. Again, Archbishop Wood has no timeout. St. Joe Prep has 1. And Prep would get a 10-point lead if they can make this. It's about a 32-yarder. So it's well within reason for this guy, who's another unsung hero today. His punting, I thought, kept his team in the game in the first half. Here's the kick by Walsh. It's long enough, it's high enough, and it is straight enough, and it's good. And St. Joe Prep's up 31-21 over Archbishop Wood. And this has been some kind of comeback for St. Joe Prep. 4:55 to go in the 4th quarter. And Prep in command right now. Archbishop Wood needs 2 quick scores, and a team that was averaging 44 points a game suddenly doesn't have any answers to score.
Again, you have to credit this Prep defense. They figured out some things, ways to stop Jared McClinton and Josh Messina. And again, we've talked about it time and time again, Tom Garlick, 0 for 7 with an interception here today. He has really been a non-factor for Archbishop Wood. And this is a phenomenal second half here from the Hawks. They have 17 unanswered points here in half number 2. And you know what? We talked about it. Garlick's going to have to make some plays. We've said it a number of times. And on this drive coming up here, he's going to have to throw it down the field and make some connections to his receivers.
And his receivers have to help him, too. They have to run good routes. The offensive line's got to hold the Prep line. Prep can go into a prevent defense, make it a little tougher. Now, there's still a lot of time. The problem is for Archbishop Wood is that they've used their timeout. I could see them getting 1 score here, but they don't want to be in a position where they got to make an onside kick.
Let's see if they can get a good return.
That may be the kick.
Fumbled it
drops
again.
The ball for the 3rd time. He's at the 5, and now he's going to run outside. Let's see if he can break it. Pretty good pursuit that time, and tripped up by St. Joe Prep. Number 5, Robbie DeSanto.
Well, you were hoping for a good return for Archbishop Wood, but unfortunately, Spahitz just hasn't been able to handle the end-over-end kick from Walsh. He's fumbled it. Like you said, that was like his 3rd time fumbling it, and now Wood is going to have to start from their own 11, go down the field, score, and then hope for an onside kick to get back in this game. And I think the way the Prep defense has played, they've played phenomenal, and I think they know that they're going to force Garlick to throw in the secondary, and the linebackers are going to be chomping at the bit to try and get their 2nd pick of the game.
Archbishop Wood has not scored here in the second half. That's hard to believe. They have not scored in the second half.
Again, credit that Prep defense really clamping down on the run game.
Garlick out of the shotgun. Going left, throwing. Did he catch the ball? I think he did. That'll be his first completion. And who's that, 19?
Yeah, 19 on Archbishop Wood. That's Justin Rubin.
Rubin making the catch, 6'2", 200-pounder. So it sets up a 2nd down and a couple. The huge crowd here on the Archbishop Wood side, they are all still here, but they're just incredibly quiet. And, I mean, they have a massive crowd right in front of our where we're broadcasting the game. Garlick rolling out right. And he breaks a tackle. It breaks an arm tackle, and he gets in for a 1st down. And that's another thing Garlick probably needs to do more. It's run with the football.
Well, that time he did a good job of running with the football, getting out of bounds to temporarily stop the clock as they move the chains. Just over 4 minutes to play. And there's Garlick right there on your screen getting the call in from Steve Devlin. Garlick's going to have to make some plays down here and score quickly.
Well, St. Joe Prep really taking it to Archbishop Wood here in the second half. Made some adjustments, played pretty much of a flawless second half. Coaching staff doing a great job offensively and defensively. Now Wood trying to get it going. Garlick throws, quick out, first complete pass, not a 1st down.
That's Singleton over there on the far side.
I would have liked to seen them do some of these quick outs in the first half just to get Garlick, get him on the board, keep the St. Joe Prep defense honest. But the problem was Archbishop Wood's offense was clicking so well running the football, they didn't really need that. 2nd down and 7. There's movement here, and I think this is going to go up against Archbishop Wood. Archbishop Wood getting over anxious because they're trying to get 10 points in 3 minutes 41 seconds here.
Yeah, I mean, Archbishop Wood has had a lot of bad penalties at the end of the first half and in the second half. And the Prep, who wasn't the disciplined team early on, they've been a lot more disciplined. They've cut down on the penalties and done a great job of filling the holes and stopping the runners of Archbishop Wood.
They're filling the gaps. They're lining up in the edges. They're cutting off the outside running opportunities, so they've done a nice job. Garlick at a quarterback keeper, and he's going to get about 3 or 4 yards here.
That's Armin Ware, number 34, coming up at the tackle.
Armin Ware's played a nice game. We've called his number a few times in this contest. He's one of the linebackers for the Prep. 4 down linemen up front, setting up in the 43. A quick out, and the pass is complete, but they're not going to get much yardage at all, if anything.
That's going to result in negative yards.
Well, it depends. I think they're going to get the
forward progress?
Yeah, the forward progress on the first hit. Clayton went down, but it's 4th down. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, you're correct. 4th down. 4th and 2.
It's 4th down and 2, so Wood needs to complete the pass and get a first down right here, or they could run the football, but they need a first down here or this thing's pretty much over. Garlick rolling out to the right. He's looking for someone, and the pass is incomplete on the right sideline, looking for Ruben. Ruben thought he caught the football. St. Joe Prep's going to get the football back, and they could just sit on the ball here and pretty much run out the clock. And this is some kind of win for St. Joe Prep, winning at William Tennant and Archbishop Wood.
So 1st and 10 here. St. Joe Prep is going to take over here at the Wood 32. And I'll tell you what, JT, I was extremely impressed with the way the Hawks came out here in the second half, played their game, ran the ball. Chris Martin and Zacchaeus extremely effective on the ground, and Martin made some big throws when he needed to as well.
Zacchaeus and Martin and the defense and I think Walsh's punting game were 4 of the major reasons why Prep came back and won this game. They forced Garlick to be in throwing downs and throw the football. And the passing game, they dared him to beat him with the pass, and it just didn't work for Archbishop Wood tonight. That's not to say Garlick's not an effective passer and a good passer and a good quarterback, because he is.
Well, he's only a sophomore.
He's only a sophomore. He's definitely a major college prospect, but he's young. And you're asking him to do things he really hasn't done yet. Here's Reed from the backfield, loses yardage here on the high snap. They better be careful with that snap. You don't want to fumble if you're St. Joe Prep here.
Definitely was dangerous right there. But still, again, it's a 2-score game, so I think it's pretty much in hand here with a minute and a half, and the St. Joe Prep faithful starting to cheer a little bit, starting to get a little excited.
They're trying to run down as much clock as they can.
Yeah, quite the opposite of what they've been trying to do all day long with that hurry-up offense.
Right. Well, the game clock is, and again, they'll take the 35 seconds off the clock again on 4th down, although, ooh, nice stop right there. Good hit. 25.
That's John Reed right there.
Reed one more time. So let's go over this. We did the Imhotep-LaSalle game. You took LaSalle. I took Imhotep. We took this game. You took Wood. I took St. Joe Prep. I'm getting pretty good at this prediction game.
So are you telling me I'm the Mike Greenberg of SFBN with the terrible predictions?
It was not a terrible prediction. Go to pick the number 3 team, undefeated, who had outscored their opponents 244-37 or whatever, something ridiculous it was, on their home field.
St. Joe Prep again.
I knew this is a special Prep team though, and they showed the. Who called the timeout?
St. Joe Prep let the clock wind down and then called the timeout. So that will give us the opportunity to give you our Lloyd Sixsmith Sporting Goods player of the game. And it's got to go to our man, who we're going to say his name correctly, Olamide Zacchaeus. It's a phenomenal job for him. There he is right on your screen. 96 yards on 13 carries and a touchdown. He also had 2 receptions for 15 yards. Both receptions were extremely key, a touchdown and also a big conversion on a 4th down play. Olamide Zacchaeus, our Lloyd Sixsmith Sporting Goods player of the game. Lloyd Sixsmith Sporting Goods is the leading supplier of the Philadelphia Public League. Visit them today at 7554 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair for all of your sporting goods needs. And a runner-up for me, even though he was on the losing side, Jarrett McClinton, 15 carries, 181 yards, but really a non-factor here in the second half. Thanks a lot to the Prep defense.
Fourth down here, and Reed is going to come down, and the ball will go back to Archbishop Wood. A little too late for Archbishop Wood, though. 29.6 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, and the Wood crowd is stunned.
Oh, they're starting to head for the exits here, JT.
They've been leaving for a few minutes now after that last fourth down conversion failed.
But you know what? It's obviously it's a tough loss for Wood, but
learning
experience. They've got some big 3A games coming up. Obviously, they're still the favorites to win the Catholic League 3A and, of course, win District 12 3A. And they've got a long road ahead of them in the state playoffs. But talking about St. Joe Prep, big win here today at William Tennant. And, of course, they're going to take that into their big rivalry game next Friday night against the LaSalle College High School Explorers.
Well, the good thing for Archbishop Wood is that I don't think there's a 3A team locally in District 1 and District 12 that can match up with them. So they're going to make a run deep in the state playoffs. St. Joe Prep has to deal with the LaSalles and the Cardinal O'Haras and the Coatesvilles in the District 1, District 12 playoffs if they get there. Garlick to the air, throwing long, and the ball is picked off by Prep here on the final play of the game and going down right there. Let's get a number. There's our guy again. Can we get his name right? Delius. Number 41.
Yeah.
Delius.
41.
Delilius. Well, every coach gives us a different name.
I know, you got to love that.
I've gotten 4 different names just from the St. Joe Prep coaches, but they don't care right now. They'll take it because they are victorious. As it's 31-21, Delius with the interception. St. Joe Prep's going to win this football game. And, boy, this is a tough one for Wood to swallow. They were winning 21-7, 24 unanswered points by St. Joe Prep. It's going to go on for a humongous win and probably the biggest win locally of the of the football season, maybe with Imhotep's big win over LaSalle. These are probably the 2 biggest wins I've seen.
And SFBN has been there for both.
That's absolutely right.
And they're going to kneel down on it, and that should be it as the St. Joe Prep faithful is cheering. And they're lining it up for the final. Again, your final score, as you see, as the clock winds down, 31-21. St. Joe Prep wins it. The Hawks victorious over Wood. The Hawks now have a record on the season of 4-1 overall. Of course, they played one less game because they had the bye that you talked about. And Archbishop Wood, with their first loss of the season, they fall to 5-1. Ari Bluestein, Jeremy Treatman here with you. We'll be back to wrap it up on the post-game report. We'll go through the final statistics, and we'll tell you about some upcoming broadcasts here on the Sports Fan Base Network. Again, your final, Prep 31, Wood 21. We'll be back to wrap it up here on SFBN.
And welcome back. William Tennant High School, Jeremy Treatman here along with Ari Bluestein, and a big win for St. Joe Prep. They scored 24 unanswered points, and in the big clash between 2 powers, one in the 4A, one in the 3A. It's the one in the 4A that comes out victorious. St. Joe Prep winning it by 10 points. If there's one thing you had to look at for the Prep win and turnaround in the second half, what would it be?
The defense. I thought the defense did a phenomenal job adjusting to the Wood run game, forcing Garlick to pass, and Garlick ends up with 2 interceptions, only 3 of 12 for 15 yards. Again, a young quarterback, a learning experience for Garlick, but the Prep defense made the necessary adjustments, not only on defense, but on offense as well. And Chris Martin did a great job running the ball, in addition to our Lloyd Sixsmith Sporting Goods player of the game, Olamide Zacchaeus.
Well, he was tremendous with 3 touchdowns and two running, 1 catching the football. And Martin converting on quarterback keepers, read options, running the football as the quarterback, converting 3 third downs, third and longs, and converting them for first downs. And I thought that was a big factor in the game as well.
Let's take a look at the final statistics, JT. Our unofficial player of the game was Jarrett McClinton, because he was actually our player of the game in the first half, you could say. Finished with 15 carries for 181 yards. He was completely bottled up in the second half, though. Same thing with Josh Messina, who had 89 yards at halftime, only finished with 95. So he was bottled up as well. Only 3 players with receptions for Archbishop Wood. Ruben with 9, Singleton with 4, and Clayton with 2 yards. On the St. Joe Prep side, the quarterback Chris Martin, a phenomenal day. He could be our runner-up for the player of the game. 11 for 17, 140 yards, and a passing touchdown. He also ended up with 77 yards on the ground. And, of course, Zacchaeus, we talked about him, 13 carries, 96 yards, 2 receptions for 15 yards. Also, John Reed with a great game, only had 6 carries for 14 yards, but in the air, 4 receptions, 78 yards, and a touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah, so he had a great game, and, of course, a big play on the interception by McNulty, which was our stall agency play of the game. So St. Joe Prep doing it in the second half when it really counted. Archbishop Wood had the fast start, but the Hawks come out with the victory here today. JT, your final thoughts?
There's not much more I can add. I mean, St. Joe Prep made the adjustments. They were able to shut down the Wood running game. They got their passing game going to help their running game get started. They made less mistakes. Wood had a key turnover in the second quarter, made some key penalties late, and St. Joe Prep played a near flawless second half. And, boy, they're deep, They're talented, they're strong, they're fast, as is Wood.
Right.
And they both got great coaching staffs. I think both of them have a chance to win state championships.
I agree.
I think Wood probably has a better chance to win a state championship in 3A, but I think St. Joe Prep right now I would give them the edge in 4. I haven't seen Coatesville, so I can't say they're better than Coatesville. But I'd give them the edge out of all the Catholic teams I've seen right now. They're the best one.
I would agree. I would agree with that. I think they're the best Catholic team right now, especially defeating Wood. I'd probably put Wood at number 2 and LaSalle probably close behind there at number 3, who actually survived a scare today against Father Judge, I believe, correct?
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, Father Judge almost beat him, but I believe now we'll have to confirm that. But I'm pretty sure LaSalle pulled out the 17-16 victory, but I think it was very close. But
they were close with the Ryan last week, too. LaSalle has turned over their whole team. I mean,
exactly. New quarterback team with Shermer. Yep.
Yeah, they're going to struggle. And again, it's only October. Talk to me in December when all this stuff counts.
Well, that about wraps it up. Our next broadcast will be on Friday, October 11th. We're going to cover some 2A action in the Catholic League between New Magoretti and Bishop McDevitt. That'll be down at the South Philly Super Site. My crew tonight, Danny Verdecchio on B camera, our new intern. Very nice to have her on board here tonight. Marco Delicato on main camera. Our director and engineer, Josh Bellman. JT, Jeremy Treatment, thank you for joining me here for the second time here on SFBN. Looking forward to having you on many more broadcasts, both football and basketball. I'm Ari Bluestein, and again, if you missed any of this game, and if you did, you want to go back and watch the replay, it'll be up on our on-demand page at www.thesfbn.com. Have a great night. Thank you again for tuning in here to SFBN, and all I got to say, JT, is go Eagles. We need a victory here tomorrow.
Sure do.
Thank you very much. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you for watching this edition of SFBN Classics. We hope you enjoyed that game. Please like our Facebook page and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page. And for more information about us, go to www.thesfbn.com. I'm Ari Bluestein. Have a good night.